Hey Carol, can you hear me? Just getting technology set up here. Hi Shirley, glad you could join us. Hi Mel. Okay, I think we're ready to go. Hey, it's Shel Anderson from Shel's Creative Corner and Shel Anderson Designs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. I blog at shelscreativecorner.blogspot.com, and I can be reached anytime by email at andersonshel@gmail.com. I would like to thank you for joining me this afternoon. We are going to have a Sunday afternoon Facebook Live this week, and we're going to be having a play with this gorgeous Paper Blooms Designer Series paper, which is a free celebration choice. So we're going to play with that today. But before we get started with our project, I wanted to show you two different things. I was making my prototype card prior to this Facebook Live, and I grabbed some white cardstock. And when I did that, I thought I had the same cardstock, but you'll remember that we got the new basic white as opposed to the whisper white. So I grabbed this, and can you see the difference in that color? Do you see how yellow this one is compared to these? These are the new basic white. This one here is the old whisper white. So my advice to you is use up all your whisper white before you start adding the basic white, or you're going to do what I did and grab this out of your scrap bin and it's a totally different color. Okay, that's one thing I wanted to talk to you about. Hi Brenda, glad you could join us. Sylvia, hey, how you doing? All right, ladies, I found this. I was cleaning in my craft room and I found this weapon. And I have no idea where I got it. I think perhaps Carol, you can let me know. But it's a punch. And when you use this punch, have I got a piece of paper here? No, I'll grab one. I've never used this until today. And when you use this punch, I don't know whether you can see this or not, it makes two little holes. And I thought, what the heck? So I got Googling, and I found out that this is for twine. It was you, Carol. Okay, good. I'm glad that I gave credit where credit was due. I found out that this little punch is for twine. And what you do is you do exactly what I did here, and you feed your baker's twine through it, and it forms a flat bow. Beautiful. So that was what I did. That's what started this whole process, was this punch that I found in my little punch drawer. So then I thought to myself, well, perhaps if I used a punch that was just a little bit bigger, like this one here, if you can see that little red dot, then I could use a wider ribbon. So I did it with the knot and I did it with the bow. Okay, so you see the width of this ribbon, that's the size of the hole, because you don't want to be able to see the holes, right? And on the back side, it's just a flat piece of ribbon and then the bow on the front. And then I took it one step further, and I just got a regular office supply hole punch, so it's a big hole, and I used wider ribbon, and there is the black bow. Isn't that cool? So if you have a nice wide ribbon and just an office hole punch, or if you have some of the crafting hole punches, use them, ladies. It all started with trying to figure out what this is, and apparently years ago this was a scrapbooker's tool so that you could put bows on your scrapbook pages without having whole lot of bulk to your projects. So anyway, that was my fun this morning. I just thought I would share my aha moment with you. And we'll get that out of the way and we will get started. So we're using the, I can't remember the name of that again, Paper Blooms DSP. And we are going to have some fun. Now, how I came up with this card is I was making a card for a blog hop, and I was punching a bunch of circles. So when I was done my project, I had a whole whack of circles on my desk, and I thought, what am I going to do with these? So that's how this project for today's Facebook Live came about. So I have some scraps here in Seaside Spray, Night of Navy, and this is the one of the Paper Blooms papers. Okay, we're going to be using a Misty Moonlight marker and a Misty Moonlight ink pad. And I took my greeting from the Tranquil Thoughts, and I found these in my DSP pack. I cut these out for a different project. I don't know whether I'm going to use these, but they're all pre-cut, so I thought I'll put them out here on my desk just so that we have it. Hey, you might use ribbon on your cards. Yeah, it's super easy, Carol. You got to try it. I was amazed. Okay, so I have a Seaside Spray standard card base, 8.5 by 11, scored at 4 1/4. And I have 3 pieces of cardstock. The first one is, they're all the same size actually. We need one for the front and one for the inside that are 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to put the one on the inside right away. And for you, those of you who haven't been here before, you see that little bottle of glue that I have. That's just Tombow in a different bottle. Tombow is my adhesive of choice in most situations. All right, so we're going to set that card base aside and we are going to work on our front panel. So we are going to need some punches. So I am going to use a 1-inch circle punch. I am going to use a 1.5-inch circle punch. I am going to use a 1/2-inch circle punch, a 3/4-inch circle punch, and a 2-inch circle punch. So basically, I'm using these pieces of scrap similar to what I did on the ones that I already had from another project that were on my desk. Okay, so now from this Night of Navy, I am going to punch one at 1 inch. Ooh, maybe I am. There we go. One at 1 inch. I'm going to cut 2 at 1/2 inch. And I am going to cut 1 at 3/4 inch. And then I am going to do 1 at 2 inches. And I think that's all the navy, but I'm not positive. Now I'm going to need a white one at 1.5 inches. And I'm going to need patterned ones. Okay. For the pattern, I need a 1/2 inch. I need a 2 inch. Oh, there it is, still stuck in the punch. A 2 inch, a 1 inch, and a 3/4 inch. And you guys are saying, holy moly, that's a whole lot of circles. What is this woman doing? Okay, that's it for that. And then I'm going to need a 2-inch circle from the Seaside Spray. And then I believe we have all the circles we need. All right, so now I need to bring in my panel that we are going to work on. And I will show you what I am going to do. All right, so like I said, I just had a bunch of circles on my desktop, so I just was thinking of a way that I could make a card with them. So I just started putting circles here, there, and everywhere on my card front. And I thought, I'm going to make a background something like that. Okay, it doesn't look like much right now, but give us time. All right, so I'm just going to bring my adhesive in and we're going to start putting these circles on. And as I was making this card, I thought this would be a great card for the embedded embossing technique, but that's not what we're doing today because my mind took me somewhere else today. And sometimes that can be a scary place. So I'm sure you guys all have lots of scrap in your scrap bin that you could try this with. Most of us do. All right. We're halfway there, ladies. Oops. There we go. And my last little piece. All right. Doesn't look like much yet, but give us time. We are going to bring in our foam mat and I'm going to stamp a greeting on my Whisper White circle. And I've chosen the thank you greeting, and that is from the Tranquil Thoughts stamp set. And I'm using the Misty Moonlight. I find personally that the Night of Navy can be really dark. And if you look at this Misty Moonlight, it actually looks very nice on there. So that's why I went with it. It's not quite as dark as the Night of Navy. I suppose I could have stamped the Night of Navy off and used it, but anyhow, I decided on the Misty Moonlight. And I'm going to use my Stampin' Right marker, and I am just going to put some faux stitching around the outside of this greeting. Shirley, you're on the internet this afternoon and not baking. I see all the beautiful things that you cook and bake. It makes me jealous that you're so talented. And now, as you can see, I'm just doing the exact same thing. I'm sorry if I've got my head in the camera. I'm just using the Stampin' Right marker to do some crooked faux stitching around the circles. I thought by just putting the circles on there, it was a different background, but it just needed something as far as I was concerned. And if you did not want to put a greeting on the front of your card, this would be a no stamping card. There we have it. What do you think? Are you liking it so far? Or do you think this girl's crazy? I don't know. I think the stitching just kind of makes it pop a little bit. It's a little bit time consuming, but it's definitely not difficult. You're liking it, Mel? Good. I am glad. I moved my computer yesterday so that my computer's right directly at eye level in front of my face. So hopefully I'm going to be able to catch more comments and not miss them. All right, one little guy left to do. And there we have it. All right, I'm going to put that mat away. And we'll put the cover on our marker. All right, let's bring in our card base. And on my last one, I did it flat. I think I'm going to put in a Night of Navy card liner behind this and see what it looks like. I think I am. Worst case scenario is I don't use it. All right, so we're going to cut this sheet in half to start with. Okay, and now, so that is 4. So this will be 4 1/8. And 5 1/4. 5. There we go. I think that will work. So there's just a little tiny margin. Actually, this might not be the right size. It is off just a bit. There we go. That looks better. All right. That in the scrap bin, get rid of the garbage, and now we'll put these pieces together. And I think I'm going to change my mind on the dimensionals because of the tight margins on this card. If I put it on dimensionals, you may not see everything we need to see. If my margins were bigger, it would be different. But as you can see, the margins are very tight here. All right, make sure we're opening in the right direction. And we'll get this on the front of our card. All right. So like I said, if you didn't want a greeting on there at all, you're good to go. If you do want a greeting on there, easy peasy. I don't know where I want it. And I also have this flower that I could put on, but I think it's a bit much on the outside. I'm going to put it down here on the inside, just to give it a little zazazoo on the inside. And because it's on the inside, we're going to put it down flat, no dimensions. Let's turn it this way. There we go. So we got a little something something happening on the inside. Do I want it on the Seaside Spray? No, I think I want it on the Night of Navy. Yes, Brenda, punches are your jam for sure. And I'm sure you've got tons of circle punches. I mean, some of the ones that I used were retired, but... Oh, your daughter's birthday's next weekend. Well, there you go. A chance to dig out your paper. All right, so there is the card we made today. And this is the one that I made earlier out of the circles. All these circles were on my desk. So I didn't cut these. Some of the smaller ones I cut from bigger circles, but I didn't actually, the only circle I actually cut was the white one. And so basically there's just two very different but very simple cards. This one I actually put another thank you, because remember I told you at the start of this video that I punched out a piece of Whisper White and it looked yellow against. Well, this is that piece. So what I did is I just used my blending brush and Rococo Rose ink, and I just added the Rococo Rose so that you could not tell the difference, and I just put it as an embellishment on the inside. So that one's done in black and Rococo Rose. This one's done in Night of Navy, Seaside Spray, and then of course the ink I switched out is the Misty Moonlight, and so is the marker. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this little Facebook Live, and I hope it inspires you ladies to get Stampin'. Alright, have a nice afternoon, and anybody who's watching football, enjoy your game. Bye-bye.